Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast today, and a wonderful broadcast we have for you, but we always do, don't we? Well, the annual Family Unity in the Park, hosted by Cleveland Councilman Zach Reed, takes place Saturday, July the 26th at Luke Easter Park on the city's southeast side. Councilman Zach Reed is here to tell us more about this event featuring the OJs, that wonderful singing group from Canton. Later on, we'll hear from Captain Rick Fryan of Good Time 3, a wonderful boat which sails out into Lake Erie and up and down the Cuyahoga River. And on the broadcast after that, Crossroads Hospice Executive Director Christine Vincent will talk about the programs and services provided by her organization. Good morning, everybody. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we beginning with Councilman Zach Reed of the Cleveland City Council. Zach, good to see you, my friend.
It's always good to be in the presence of a legend like you.
Oh, God, you're the legend. You're the legend. Things are going well at Cleveland City Hall for you?
Well, we got the RNC.
Yeah, the Republican National Convention is coming here.
That's right.
So we're on the map.
We're clearly on the map. LeBron's going to be coming back, so we're going to be doubly on the map.
Well, let's hope so. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Is for us to continue
Show
to
me
climb
the
up
money.
and to rise up. Let's talk a little bit about the Family Unity in the Park event, which is going to take place on July the 26th. That's Saturday. Well, how's that going to be?
Well, it's going to be fantastic. We've been doing it now. This will be our 11th year. When I became councilman 14 years ago, I looked around and looked at the assets in the ward that I represent, the Mount Pleasant neighborhood, and I looked at this fantastic asset called Luke Easter Park, and the fact that families weren't utilizing this park, and the fact that it had got cleaned up under former Mayor Michael White and former Councilwoman Odelia Robinson and now Director McGrath, and said, we need to bring families back to this park. You know, Leon, it is the largest urban park in the entire state of Ohio.
Is that right? Right,
so it's
right there at Martin Luther King Drive and Kinsman.
Right, so it's like our central park of the city of Cleveland, and we weren't utilizing it. So I came up with a concept that said, what if we threw free parties, concerts in the park like they do Central Park?
Right.
And, you know, the first year, worked a little well, but then we brought back the Daz Band, which was formerly known as the Kinsman Daz Band, and it just exploded. About 10,000 people came, and now we're up to about 20,000 people. It is the largest concert in the city of Cleveland as it relates to a neighborhood.
So this is a day of fun and entertainment and picnicking, and bring your families out. Free entertainment there at Luke Easter Park. One of the big calling cards you have this year is the OJs, the singing group, huh?
We have been trying to figure out how to get the OJs to come. One of the members who actually lives in Cleveland, Binky, he comes every year, and he's like, how do we work this out? How do we work this out? This year, after last year's 10th year, we couldn't think of who could we get. We put our head down and we said, we are going to figure out how to get the OJs. And we have the OJs. And it's a family event, from the fact that this year we got an arts and culture grant that's going to allow us to have puppets and face painting and the whole lights. We got a kiddie park area, and we got great bands, and it's an all-day event. Starts at 1 o'clock, goes, and then, you know, having the largest urban park in the state of Ohio gives you the opportunity to have fireworks.
And this, so you're going to have fireworks as well?
Fireworks at the so we've always had fireworks. It's one of the unique things of having it at Luke Easter. We actually are able to have fireworks right in the hood.
Let's talk a little bit about the safety aspect. I know we've got the 4th District Police Station is within sight of it. It's really at the park itself. It's located.
So if you get in trouble, you might go right down there.
At the foot of the park. So police are going to be there. But speak about the security measures.
Well, what we've done over the years, because we know that there could be, and fortunately, knock on wood, we've never had any problems physically at the park where we're at, but what we do is we partner up with the Cleveland Police Department, which comes out as what we call in the city, we have a Councilmatic Day, where the city comes out and gives us all the city services free of charge. But we've added on to that. So we have about 25 to 30 extra police officers that we bring. So in essence, we have about 75 to 100 police officers that roam the park all day to ensure the safety and security of all the families that come. And like I say, we're up to 20,000 families, that people who actually make it to the park on that day.
And you've got a swimming pool right there at the on the property as well too. So it's a wonderful location,
yes.
Just a wonderful, called Luke Easter Park, named after that famed baseball player for the Cleveland Indians.
Who lived in Mount Pleasant.
Who lived in the Mount Pleasant area of Cleveland, which is on the southeast side of Cleveland. By the way, you can go to the Family Unity in the Park, thefamilyunityinthepark.com. Get more information on everything we've been talking about, or you can make a phone call to 229-0290. That's in the 216 area code. But once again, July the 26th, Saturday, OJs are going to be there. You'll be there. You'll probably even sing with the OJs if I know you, Zach. You tell Walter and Levert and Eddie Levert and the rest of the OJ group that I'd love to sing with them too if they'd let me.
Okay.
But you see this is a wonderful opportunity for not only Ward 2, but for the entire Northeast Ohio to visit.
This has become a citywide event. And we go through the audience and asking where you're from. We got people coming in from Detroit, Columbus, Cincinnati, Northeast Ohio. They're coming from all over. And this year, when you talk about the fact that we're going to have the OJs, which is, you know, a Hall of Famer, we're going to have people coming from everywhere. So
that's Saturday. People can bring their picnic baskets, bring their blankets, and come and have a good. Bring the kids.
They got to come early though, because this year, because we don't have any parking, so you got to park where you can.
Park where you can and walk in.
Walk in.
That stops all of the automobile traffic from going through the area.
That's correct. So, and we got people, Leon, that are actually, you know, a few years ago it was coined Woodstock in the city, because you literally have people who've been coming for the past 10 years. Who literally go out there at 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning
and claim a spot.
Get the spot that they've had for the past 10 years.
Get there early.
Get there
In fact,
early.
Get there right now. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Leon.
Councilman Zach Reed, Councilman from Ward 2, talking about the big event, what's going to be happening. The Family Unity in the Park event is going to be July the 26th, Saturday. It will be at Luke Easter Park, which is located on Kinsman Road, right at Martin Luther King, between East 93rd Street and Martin Luther King. It's the big, big park. It is the central park of downtown, of the Cleveland area.
That's correct.
Many thanks.
Thanks,
for being
Leon.
on the broadcast. Okay. Taking a break right now. I'll be right back. We're going to talk about the Good Time 3. We'll take a sail out on the river and the lake as well. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Rick Fryan is a third-generation captain of the Good Time 3, the sailing vessel here in Cleveland. And Captain Rick joins me this morning to talk about summer events in Cleveland and the impact they will have on the Good Time 3. You are third generation, Captain Rick. Tell me about that.
Well, my grandfather and great uncle started the Good Time business back in 1958. In 1960, they introduced the Good Time 2. And then my father purchased the company in 1984 and then introduced the Good Time 3 in 1991. And I've been working for the company since May of 1986.
A cruise ship that goes up and down the Cuyahoga River, out in Lake Erie, dinner, dancing, and good times, obviously.
You got it.
And lots of fun, yeah.
Yes.
Well, good, good. Things are looking well for you, I'll bet.
Yes. The weather this year has been very cooperative as far as weekend weather goes, and we are certainly a Friday through Sunday business. As well, I think the economy is certainly turning around. Things are looking better, and there have been all kinds of events over the summer, you know, spring, summer, and coming up in the fall. And of course, now that we're going to have the RNC in 2016, I think that's going to be good for all Clevelanders.
You're expecting big business. I guess we're all expecting big business.
Everyone is.
Thousands of people from around the world, certainly in this country, and the news media from around the world, come to cover the Republican Convention of 2016.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the Good Time 3 and the Cleveland Air Show. Now, the Cleveland Air Show is back up in the air for this Labor Day weekend. How are you going to fit in with this air show?
Well, I think it will certainly boost attendance a little bit better. We will have our 3 o'clock cruise on Friday. They do like trial runs, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is the show. And you come out on our 3 o'clock cruise, you'll love it.
And of course, you leave from right there by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the East 9th Street Pier, out into Lake Erie. You've been doing this for a long time. Well, what do people say that they like about the Good Time 3?
I think basically, they are so shocked at the skyline of the city of Cleveland. Not only visitors that come in from out of town that have this preconceived notion of what Cleveland, you know, all the Cleveland jokes,
right.
But they come in and they are just like, wow, you know, you have a beautiful city. You have a lot to be proud of. And I say, I know. You know, that's the bottom line. And it's not just visitors, it's residents. It's people that live in the suburbs that haven't been downtown in 10 years, you know, 15 years, that come down and they see all the changes. And they're just, you know, flabbergasted at how nice it is.
It is such a part of the history of this city. Of course, you know, and you recall a couple of years ago, I had a family reunion. We had it in Cleveland, and I was the sponsoring member because I'm from Cleveland, and people from all over the country of our family came in, and they were impressed with the good time and impressed with Lake Erie. A lot of people had heard about Lake Erie, but I had people say, that's an ocean out there. They thought it was just a little small lake. I said, no, it is an ocean. It's, you know, 300 miles long and all. So a lot of history here. And you've got history. You've some of the famous, some of the infamous have been a part of it. There's a Danny Green story that I'm told.
Oh, yeah. Danny Green came aboard the Good Time 2 and wanted to unionize our 3 deckhands, I think we had at the time. And my grandfather escorted him off the boat and then later found out who he was. And was quite surprised.
Danny Green was a real tough guy. Who was a real tough guy. And you can read about that Danny Green in the annals of history and crime in this community. So a lot of people get on board. The famous get on board. A lot of Hollywood stars were in there in Cleveland. They take that tour. Tell me about what you offer on these cruises that go out.
Well, during our sightseeing tours, the first hour is narrated, and we talk about the history of Cleveland, and we discuss all the variety of bridges and show you those bridges. We go under them, through them, etc. And then the second hour of the cruise, we play some background music. We also play some music for the kids down on the main deck. And then we also have, new this year, we have superheroes, because so many families come on board and they bring their young kids and they want some sort of excitement for them. So that has been very popular. And
your prices are always right on. I mean, you got prices for the children, prices for the adults. And you can take the dinner cruise or the non-dinner cruise. And
exactly. We offer Friday night happy hour and then a dance cruise. And then on Saturday night, we offer a dinner and dance cruise. And you could do the dinner dance for $49.85, or you could do the dance only for $20.
It's just a great evening. It's just a great evening being on the Good Time 3. By the way, you can find more information by going to goodtime3.com, goodtime3.com, or goodtime III, as in the Roman numeral 3, and you can get more information on everything we're talking about, or go to 861-5110. And you can find more information. We've got the numbers on the screen there. Captain Rick, always good to see you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Anchors away, huh?
Aye, aye.
You lift anchors and we're out. Okay.
You got it.
Out on the lake and out on the river. Many thanks.
Please come back.
You know I will. I'm always there, one way or the other, hanging around. Hey, Rick, take me aboard. And
we'll make you an honorary crew member.
Oh, isn't that nice? Captain.
Aye, aye.
Captain, thank you so much. Coming up next on Kaleidoscope, we're going to talk about hospice care. A very important subject. A very important subject. You need to hear what we're going to talk about. I'm Leon Bibb. Back in a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Glad to have you with me today. Christine Vincent is Executive Director of Crossroads Hospice. She's here to talk about the many programs and services provided by her organization. Good to have you with us, Christine.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. What's the mission of Crossroads Hospice?
Well, we aim to meet people where they're at. We don't treat the disease, but we treat the patient, take care of their families, and do whatever we can to make sure that they are comfortable and help them on this final journey of their life. It's truly a blessing to be able to do that.
Each one of us comes to the end of life at some point.
Absolutely.
And you kind of help us. Your organization helps so many people make that transition and helps the families around them.
Yes.
That's vital, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Talk about some of the specific programs.
We have several programs. One is our Gift of the Day program that was inspired by Jim Stovall's book, The Ultimate Gift. And what we do is we ask the patient, if you had one perfect day, what would that be? And then what we do is we work with our staff, we work with our volunteer volunteers, we work with local businesses, and we try to make that day happen for them. It can be something as big as going up in an airplane for one last time, or maybe they just want a family photo or a nice family dinner with their loved ones. So that's what we work to do, whatever it is to make them and focus on that patient and that family so they have memories that last forever.
How large an area does Crossroads Hospice serve here in Northeast Ohio?
Northeast Ohio, we actually serve 10 counties, and it's about a 50-mile radius from our office, which is located in Greene.
You've got a program for veterans, too.
Yes.
Veterans of the U.S. military. Tell me about that.
Yes, we do. We like to honor our veterans. We have a pinning ceremony for them, our patients, and then also if there are other patients in a nursing facility that our patient is in, then we'll honor them as well. We learn a little bit about their background, and we speak about that person in the service and thank them for what they've done, because so many veterans hadn't been thanked. And we like to honor them at that time, give them a pin. We have other veteran volunteers that will come in, sometimes the color guard, you know, ROTC cadets, and we just honor that person, their families. We give them a certificate and thank them for their service.
I will tell you that when my mother passed several years ago, she went through hospice care here in the greater Cleveland area, and it was just so comforting for those of us in the family, and for my mother too. In her final several weeks, she was in hospice, and what it did for the family, what it did for us, my sister and me, and other members of our family, was just remarkable. And I will always speak highly of hospice operations, how they allow people at the end of their lives to make that transition, which is inevitable for all of us. You have to have that conversation, don't you, with so many people? You
do. I think people think if they choose hospice that they're giving up, and that's not the case. You know, unfortunately, some of their diseases are at the end stages, and we're there to help them with that journey that they're going to go on anyways. We want to keep them comfortable, and it's not about the quantity of life left, it's about the quality that we can give them.
And making them comfortable.
Yes.
You're looking for volunteers?
Absolutely, we always look for volunteers. We actually have volunteers of 16 age and older. And it doesn't take that much time. We take people, if you just like to play cards, or if you enjoy music, or are an artist of some sort. You know, there's a patient out there that you would fit perfectly with and that you could meet with and do those types of things.
How can they make contact and become volunteers by calling the office? Or?
They can call the office or visit our website at crossroadshospice.com.
Crossroadshospice.com. Crossroads Hospice, HOSPICE.com. 330-899-9100. You've got the phone number and the website on the screen there. Leave us with a thought of why you think this is so vital to have hospice care when that time comes.
You know, I think it's really important to have people there for support, and sometimes people don't have large families that can gather around them, and sometimes they do, but to have a professional come in and be the expert to kind of lead them and guide them on what to expect with this process and what's going to happen, and just hold their hand and comfort them and answer their questions that they have. I mean, we're just there. It's a journey that they're going to take, and we just want to make that as easy as we can for them.
This can be at home?
Yes, we meet people at their private homes, nursing facilities, wherever they're at, we will go. And that is a lot of people's desires, to stay in their home. And with hospice care, we can make that happen. You find a lot of people are much more open to talking about death now than perhaps we were as an American people a generation ago? I think we're getting there. I think there's a lot more education that still needs to be shared, but I definitely think we're on the right track. And that's part of what you do? Correct. You're wearing a green ribbon. Oh, I am. What's the green ribbon mean? That actually, one of our nurses just passed away this week in a car accident, so we're all honoring his memory. Is that right? Yes. So you're feeling this as well. You're feeling the sting of death. Yes. I mean, although there is something biblical that says, "Death, where is thy sting?" But certainly there is a feeling there of family and friends when someone is passing. Absolutely. I actually just addressed the staff this week and said, we always know exactly what to say to the patients and the families, and we comfort them, and it just comes natural. But when it's one of our own, we're all clueless. So it makes us identify with the patients, I think, even better now.
In our final 30 seconds, what about after that person passes away? Is there help for the families who are left behind?
Absolutely, yes. We do have a bereavement service, and you know, Medicare guidelines states that they have to keep in contact for 13 months, but it's indefinite. Crossroads, we will be there as long as the family needs us to be after death.
We've been talking with Christine Vincent, who's Executive Director of Crossroads Hospice, and her phone number is 330-899-9100, as you see at the bottom of the screen, or you can go to crossroadshospice.com for more information on everything that we've been talking about. Christine, thank you for being on the broadcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
And certainly my sympathy on the loss of your friend who was the nurse there. Yeah, God bless you all.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you do. Taking a break. I'll be right back. The Morning Exchange segment with Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. But first, these words. That graphic saying the Morning Exchange means it is time for President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Marsha Maccabee, our good friend. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, Leon, how are you doing?
Okay, and and I know you are well because you always got something going.
Well, always, 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 and I'm thankful that I continue to be well so that I can do all that I have to do. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to be taking off shortly today to go to Cincinnati, Ohio, because our national conference begins this week in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, so you'll be with all the other Urban League leaders from around the country.
Absolutely, and I just found out yesterday that Vice President Joe Biden is going to be with us.
Well, good.
So that's very exciting. President Obama has been with us several times at several of our conferences, but Vice President is going to be with us. We have a number of outstanding things going on, and on Tuesday, the 22nd, is our big statewide education convening that I've been sharing with our audience about. And it's going to actually happen, and I have a great tip for our audience. For those that can't go down and be with us on the 22nd, we're going to bring a number of the components from that conference back to Cleveland on September 6th, and we're going to have a citywide education summit.
This is to raise the level of education in our community, get people thinking, get the kids on board, thinking about their futures.
Yes, talking about education reform issues so parents understand how they need to navigate within their schools and help their children to be successful.
Parents are so vital to the success of a child, right?
Absolutely. I don't think parents sometimes realize exactly how much the weight they carry in what happens with their children in the education system, because they're the first teacher at home.
I think they carry more weight, more weight than perhaps the educational process itself.
Absolutely.
Because the parents at home kind of set the tone for what's expected.
Yes.
When I went off to school, my father says, now go do the right thing.
I know that's right.
And he says, and if you don't do the right thing, you and I will talk this afternoon.
I know that's right. And sometimes a little more to talk, right?
Oh, you know Leon Bibb Sr. very well. Leon and Georgia Bibb. God bless them. They're gone now, but they're in my heart. Thank you, Marsha.
Thank
you for being with us. Take care, everybody.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.